Guys, my name's Chris Doyle. I am from Tennessee, and I'm so excited about this morning, obviously, because we have Dr. Ginger Decker, who is one of our top people when it comes to products. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I respect so much about what she says. I listen to every word very intently to keep up with what she's got to say. So, guys, as we get started here, I want to, before I bring her on, I want to make a point very clearly to you is that guys, when I started this company, I was very not a product person. I want to make that very clear. I came here because I was interested in making money. I looked at the company for long term and be the very first person to say that I was not a product person. And as time has changed, and I learned that it's very important to have an incredible product line that makes a huge difference in lives, that makes a difference. And I heard Todd say once, it needs to have products that work better than we say they do. And then I got to meet Ginger, and I learned so much about the products, and I began to realize so many things that helped me. And so before we start, let's make this very clear. I'm going to do this for Ginger too. We don't heal, treat, diagnose anything. All we're going to do is show you some ways to put things in your body that can make a difference if they're used. And so with all that said, how do I introduce Dr. Ginger? I mean, this privilege is always an interesting one because when you look at her resume, I mean, she was a teacher at the Hippocrates Health Institute, which treats all types of disease the healthy way or the nutrition way. She's written a couple of books. The Green Juice one that I read originally, but her most famous book is the Rainbow Juice Cleanse that she's been featured on multiple television shows about, including Dr. Oz. She has been on Fox News, Sorbet Show. We could go down the list, guys. I could read television shows she's appeared on and accolades. And guys, she is a nutrition guru. Worked for Fortune 500 companies. Some of the most famous people in our country look to her for their news and their information. And so as we get started this morning, I just want you to realize, listen, hope you got your notepad. Please don't ask medical questions. She's not going to be able to do that kind of thing for you. So just learn and listen. And I think Ginger will give you a lot of information you can use over the next years to help people. And so excited. So Ginger, are you still with us?
I am here.
I hadn't got you kicked off. So we're going to turn it over to Ginger. I'm not going to do anything besides watch everybody. Like I warned everybody in advance, if you're unmuted, be prepared to be bumped out of here. I'm not playing anymore. Too many people, we've had too many hackers jump in our rooms and mess things up. So you better watch your mute switches because we're going to get rid of unmuted people. So Ginger, I'm turning it over to you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope it's sunny where you are. It is here in Michigan, which is a change. Super excited about that. Okay. So I'm going to go over some products that perhaps you're not as familiar with. I want to review a couple of the products that you are familiar with, just so you can get some good information on those. But I want to review some other products that maybe you don't even know about yet. Under our umbrella, we actually have 8 different brands. Did you know that? And they all relate to health and wellness in one way, shape, or form. You're probably the most familiar with the Slenderize, right? Slenderize is our homeopathic and herbal body balancing drops with an incredible side effect of weight loss if that's what you're looking for. And we have had people lose hundreds of pounds with the Slenderize drops, and we have fitness competitors and athletes using that exact same product to get totally ripped. So I love the drops because they just do so many things. And we actually have a clinical study on the drops, and I'll just kind of give you the highs and lows of the clinical study. Actually, they're all highs, they're not lows, but the nitty gritty, the biomarkers or the blood work and the different things that your doctor would look at when you go visit your doctor improve so significantly in our clinical study. I've actually had doctors look at that study and say, this would be $1 billion drug if it were a drug. Now, the best part is it's not a drug. It's homeopathic and herbal. Homeopathy and herbology have been around forever. Totally safe, totally effective. The only person who couldn't use the drops, and this is pretty obvious, is someone who's pregnant, right, or breastfeeding. But other than that, it doesn't even matter if you're on medications. The fun part is because the drops help to rebalance the body, you work with your doctor. The next time you get your blood pressure, your different blood work, A1C, whatever it is, it's really fun to watch those people come back to you, or maybe it's you, and find out that those numbers are improving because of the things that you're doing in your own life. So that's one of the things I want to point out today. Your health is in your hands, regardless of whether something's genetic. I mean, if genetics played a role in my health, I probably wouldn't be here. My dad passed away 30 years ago. He had heart disease. high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all of those things, cancer. And my mom just actually a couple of years ago. And I can tell you their lifestyles were not healthy. But you can take charge of your own health. And if you're on this Zoom right now, that's probably what you're doing, or you're trying to help other people do the same. So just know that if you give your body the proper tools, it knows what to do. We don't treat, diagnose, or cure, but you have seen, I'm sure, plenty of before and after sort of amazing testimonials of people who have made incredible changes. And so you know the possibilities with clean nutrition. And that's exactly what we have here. We don't use the typical manufacturing chemicals, artificial sweeteners, colors, flavors, flow agents, binders, other ingredients that typical health companies are using, because we really have integrity when it comes to the ingredients. So the drops, if you don't have this handy little pouch, this is a little pouch. It's great because it keeps your drops safe from clanking around in your purse or your bag. You can also, if you don't have one of these pouches, put it in one of these koozies. You can put both of them in one. So that's just a little tip there. So these are homeopathic and herbal drops. There is no HCG in here. This is not an HCG program. I am not a fan of that at all. This is homeopathy and herbology. The drops basically go under your tongue before your 3 largest meals. But what they are doing, and there's a whole instruction manual that explains exactly how much to use, how many drops and all of that. So I won't go into those details. But I want to point out with the drops, the reason that they help to lose weight and get so many positive results is because they're impacting so many areas in the body. The first of which is your sugar and carbohydrate cravings. Are you a sugar addict? Do you know someone who's a sugar addict? Well, sugar on the brain impacts the same area that cocaine does. So if you're a sugar addict, you literally become physiologically addicted to the carbs and the sugars and the sodas and all of that, because it's impacting that part of the brain just like cocaine does, and you're physiologically addicted. So I love the homeopathic remedy, because the Slender X, because it helps to, I like to say, cut that sugar craving cord, helps to reset the brain, reset the taste buds so that you feel more in control of your food choices. And you can actually say no to things. And I know many of you who have gone through this program, or maybe who are even on the drops right now, within 3 or 4 days, you notice that. Like, you don't want that Mountain Dew. You can say no to the pizza. You can have one cookie and not all of them. And actually, pizza and cookies not on the program, and neither is soda. So hopefully you're not doing those things anyway. But the point is, it's a reset button, basically. Another thing that relates to weight issues is your thyroid. If you have an unhealthy thyroid, which is a gland that sits right here in your neck, and there's a whole lot that's related to the thyroid, but we do have thyroid support in here. So if you have a thyroid issue, a lot of people are diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and they honestly use that as an excuse as to why they can't lose weight. 99% of the time, the issue isn't the thyroid. It's some other things going on in the body. And again, we are balancing a lot of different areas in this overall program. And so those, even with thyroid issues, seem to see some improvement, if not a lot of improvement. Okay, so that's the first one. It also starts to get the body alkaline, starts to target that visceral fat. Your viscera are your organs. So the fat around your organs, the belly fat, right? That's what we're all looking for, especially this time of the year, right? And that's why the athletes like this, because it helps them get that ripped 6-pack, 8-pack, 12-pack look. Okay, the second bottle targets some other areas that ultimately help with weight loss. One of them is stress. How many of you are stressed right now, or know people who have been stressed, especially during this time that we're under? Well, stress, I'll make it really simple. One of your stress hormones is called cortisol. Have you heard of that? Well, when cortisol is elevated, cortisol and insulin are like best friends. So when cortisol goes up, insulin goes up. Now, insulin you might be familiar with. That's the hormone, that's your fat storage hormone, but it's the one that's talked about a lot with diabetics, and it's the one that every time you eat sees a blip on the radar, right? It goes up. And if you eat more sugar and carbs, it really goes up, and then you have like a high and a low. And so interestingly, when you're stressed, even if you're not eating sugar per se, your insulin can creep up because your cortisol is creeping up. So what we did is we wanted to tackle your stress. We wanted to help you feel better, right? And so we have 2 herbs in here, ashwagandha, rhodiola. You don't have to know them, but what they do is they help to bring down your stress. And so you'll notice your cravings are under control. You're feeling really good. You don't feel as stressed. Things that bothered you before you might not even care, right? And so I love that kind of 1-2 punch with these drops. Now, also, when you bring down your stress, guess what else seems to happen? You can sleep a little bit better. A lot of people have difficulty sleeping for various reasons. So I love when people report back to us all these positive things that they're feeling and noticing, but actually also sleep. And if you're not sleeping right, if you're waking up every couple of hours during the night, guess what? You're not going through that proper REM cycle. Have you heard of that? The REM, the REM cycle, sleep cycle. And so that actually prevents you from losing weight too. So again, we're targeting so many areas. That's why I call these the homeopathic and herbal body balancing drops. They do a lot of body balancing, right? With a great side effect of weight loss. So I don't want to go into too much more detail because I know most of you on this Zoom are familiar with it or have seen a lot of the details and definitely seen a lot of the before and afters, because I want to touch on some other products. But I wanted to highlight these because I use these with everyone I work with, even if they don't have to lose weight. Now, this is not a product that you stay on forever. You utilize it as a tool to take your physique to the next level, wherever that might be. And then you're off to the races. You're reset, you're good to go, you're on a good program. And so I just wanted to answer that question too, because a lot of people think, oh, do I have to take these forever? No, they're used as a tool. Some people just use them for a month. If you have a significant amount of weight to lose or a significant amount of rebalancing going on that you need because you've been harsh on your body for decades, then you might take them longer. All right. Okay. I want to get back to the whole sleep conversation, because the drops, we definitely get people noting that they can sleep better on the drops, and they're getting healthier. So that makes sense that they would sleep better. But if you want kind of a foolproof formula for helping you sleep, and I'll point out that women going through perimenopause, menopause, men going through menopause, yes, there is such a thing. It's actually called andropause, not menopause, but that's what I call it, can oftentimes find they have difficulty sleeping. So there's a couple of things, tricks and things that you can do to help yourself before you sleep, get a good night's sleep and hopefully stay asleep. And one of them actually has nothing to do with our products, but it's a fun little cheap little thing that you can do. This is Epsom salts. Have you heard of Epsom salts? A lot of athletes use it as a recovery kind of thing that they put in a hot bath or in a whirlpool or something. And Epsom salts is magnesium sulfate. Okay, so think about it. You get in a hot bath, the hot water opens up your pores. You put like a half a cup or so of this in your hot bath. They dissolve. The magnesium goes in your pores, right? Because everything that touches your skin gets in your body. And magnesium is one of those nutrients that helps your body relax. And so again, athletes like it for recovery for their muscles, right? It helps the muscles relax. But this can also help you in terms of helping you sleep. In addition, if you add one of our essential oils. Now, we are not an oil company, but again, we're doing the big picture when it comes to what we call real health. We want to show people healthy swaps that they can make. So if you've got Glade plugins, aerosol sprays, scented candles in your house, not only are you toxifying your indoor air environment and putting hormone disrupting chemicals, meaning cancer causing chemicals in the air that you're breathing, and it's getting into your body and affecting your health, but did you know those things can also make you fat? Yep, they sure can. Why? Because those toxins that are not readily eliminated are stored in your body's fat cells. So we have to start to make better choices in every area of our life as it relates to health. And if you get rid of the Glade plugins or any of those plugins, the aerosol sprays, the scented candles, you're lessening your body's overall toxic load. So we have a line of essential oils called Prime. We're not an oil company, like I said, but we wanted to provide a clean solution. So we have these 4 different blends, and each one of them is very powerful, has lots of different usages. I don't have time to go into all the details of them, but suffice it to say, they're essential oil blends. And essential oils, it's the oils from different parts of plants that have a very nice aroma to them. So you can make your room smell good, right? And that's oftentimes what people are looking for. But guess what? At the same time, without you even knowing it many times, you're getting the therapeutic value of each one of the oils that are in our blends. So as it relates to sleep, we actually have one called Calm. And so what you can do with Calm is you can put it in a diffuser in your bedroom while you're taking your hot Epsom salt bath and let that get into the air. You also can put a couple drops in your hot bath. Again, that's going to absorb into your bloodstream and help you relax. So there's a little trick there. And I don't know if you guys can see this here, but this is my answer to those plugins. And you can get these at the health food store, find them online. But what I've done is you put your essential oil right on that little pad, put a bunch of drops, and then you plug it in and it heats up and the room can smell good. So you can have your cake and eat it too, but in a healthy way, so to speak, with using some of these that you can definitely find online, but using our essential oils. So right now I have, which one do I have going in here? I have our Escape oil going. Escape has lots of different ingredients, but one of the ingredients is frankincense. And this is a great example as to how long we've been using essential oils in our world. Frankincense has literally been around since the days of Jesus, right? gift by the wise men, right? Frankincense and myrrh. And frankincense has amazing properties. So we use ingredients that have been therapeutically proven to get a therapeutic result. But guess what? At the same time, you're also getting a great smelling environment. You're not toxifying and increasing your toxic load. You're not toxifying your family. We have one called Sentry, which is more of our antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal kind of formula. It smells absolutely delicious. That is my bathroom spray. So I put water in here, about 10 or 15 drops of the Sentry in this bottle. This is what's in my bathroom. I don't have the usual suspects that are found in there. So those are a couple of tips to help you sleep. Another product that we have that indirectly, it's not a sleep product, but indirectly because of the magnesium, and I think you'll see this as I talk about it, that can help you sleep, is our MagnaCal D. Did you know that? So MagnaCal D, magnesium, calcium, vitamin D, vitamin K, all in the proper ratios, all in the proper forms. It's actually our bone and joint formula. MagnaCal D, bone and joint formula, because these ingredients are necessary for strong bones. And it's formulated properly. Again, I don't have time to go into all the details of that, but I wanted to point out the magnesium in this. If you take, on the bottle, it says take 2 in the morning and 2 at night. If instead you take 4, maybe right when you get in your bathtub or about an hour before you go to bed at night, because there's a higher dose of magnesium at one time, again, that will help relax you and help you sleep. So there's some tricks that you can utilize to help you sleep. If you're on the drops, they're definitely going to help. You can use the Epsom salts, magnesium sulfate, in a hot bath. And then you throw some calm oil, where's that one? Calm oil in there, as well as in your diffuser in your bedroom. And then you take your 4 MagnaCal D. Now don't take more than 4 a day. I want to point that out. On the bottle, it says take 2 in the morning and 2 at night. But in this case, if you take 4, instead of that, take 4 about an hour before you go to bed at night. That's a really great kind of sleep formula if you combine all of those things. And it's a healthy way to get your sleep, as opposed to the prescriptions and even some of the over-counter and different other ingredients that are out there that are supposed to be natural, but really make your body rely on that and not your natural sleep pattern. So we want to kind of get you moving into the more healthy way, get you off some of those other crutches that you might be using to sleep. In addition, with the essential oils I didn't mention, I also use them as my perfumes. So I have these little spray bottles, and I have each one of these. I put some water in there and a couple drops, and these are my perfumes, because guys and ladies, perfumes and colognes are made from chemicals. So you have to be aware of that. And again, our goal here is we want to boost our immune system with superfoods and clean nutrition, and we want to lessen our overall toxic load. And just those 2 concepts, having taught at the Healing Center, I saw the power of just doing those 2 things, what it can do to bring the body back in balance, because you're not toxifying it anymore, and you're finally giving the body good, clean, super nutrition that can strengthen the immune system. So those, from a very basic standpoint, are 2 concepts that I think everyone can understand. You don't have to be a doctor or nutritionist, but if you just explain boosting your immune system with clean nutrition, lessening your body's overall toxic load with those toxins that you become aware of. And here's the thing, you don't know what you don't know until you know it. So if you didn't know that the plugins, the scented candles, the aerosol sprays were toxic, that's okay. But now you know. What's that Chinese proverb? Knowing something and not applying it is like not knowing it at all, right? So I just taught you a few things, hopefully, and you'll start applying those and teaching those, because it's not rocket science. It actually kind of gets back to common sense. So we're getting back again to a clean lifestyle, and we have those clean solutions as you start to learn about different things. I'm going to take a sip of water, and we can talk about some water here, because we have a simple solution to clean water. So if you're drinking from squishy plastic water bottles, what you might not realize is happening is the chemicals in that plastic are actually leaching into the water, and they're hormone disrupting. And whenever I say that, just think cancer causing, because that's what they contribute to. So hormone disrupting chemicals that are increasing your body's toxic load and making it really hard for your body's immune system to thrive. So I love this alternative. This is Triton, so there's no BPA in this. And this is kind of fun to carry around with you, because people always ask me, like, what is that? What is that? And what it is this is a filter that filters out everything from chlorine to fluoride to lead and mercury, all the different toxins. emerging contaminants, pharmaceuticals that are found in our water supply. The list is a mile long, but it's clean and it's safe and it's easy. And guess what? One filter, which filters out about 60 gallons of water. And if you drink 6 of these a day, that's a gallon, by the way, for those of you who want to know, I actually measured it. But one filter will save between 450 and 500 squishy plastic water bottles from going into the landfill. So we are actually helping the environment at the same time. And I know right after the first of the year, our company said they had saved over 1 million squishy plastic water bottles from going into landfill based on the filters that they had sold. So I love this alternative. This is a really easy swap, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're sharing kind of everything that we're doing with people and they're feeling overwhelmed, start them small, baby steps, major in one area, minor in the others. And as they start to learn, they're going to want to clean up their act because they're feeling good. Maybe their biomarkers are improving. Their doctor's like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. But this is a really easy swap. The other thing I can point out as it relates to weight, because a lot of people are paying attention to that right now because summertime is coming up. But did you know that your water choice can actually make you lose weight or make you gain weight? Yes, absolutely. Because again, those hormone disrupting chemicals found in the plastic water bottles stored in your body's fat cells, right? So your fat cells are getting fatter and fatter with this toxins that are going in because your body can't eliminate everything. It gets overwhelmed. So you can actually lose weight, as I think we actually have a great example of someone who lost, I think, close to 100 pounds by just changing from drinking the squishy plastic water bottles to this water bottle. So every little edge that you can get, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because it's almost summertime. So definitely utilize the water bottle opportunity and that filter. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. Let's see what else. I got them all spread out here. What else do we want to talk about? I do want to talk about shakes because this is such an easy, clean solution to a meal, a snack, whatever the case may be. So what we did is we put together some clean shakes. This is called Pure Nourish. This is our base shake. As you can see, I've already opened it, but it's pea and cranberry protein with probiotics. Have you heard that term before? Pro means good, biotic means bacteria, that good bacteria for your gut. So this is some good gut health here, but it's pea and cranberry based protein. So it's very alkaline to the body, not acidic like the whey and casein and so many of the other products that are on the market. I love it because it's clean, it's plain. So this is your base. What you would do is 2 scoops in some water of that. And then we have a couple of other options to add to it. And if you get the shake pack, it comes with this shaker bottle. And I love our powders because they're very fine. You don't have to use a blender. So if you're traveling and on the road, you literally could pour your powders in the shaker bottle. And then as you're out and about, you can just add water and shake it up. But they're very fine, so it blends really nicely. But then we have a couple of other options to add for extra nutrition and flavor. We have our Power Boost, which is chocolate flavor. It's cocoa flavor. Who doesn't like chocolate, right? So if you're a chocoholic, this is a great way to literally, I mentioned before, have your cake and eat it too, but you can literally have your cake and eat it too. This is a great chocolate cake icing that you can make. Just add a little bit of water, stir it up to the consistency you're looking for. It's absolutely delicious. But what's in here is your branched chain amino acids. Do you know that term? Your BCAAs. A lot of the athletes throw that term around. But what that is, that's your muscle building, muscle preserving amino acids. But here's the deal. It tastes delicious. It's a great chocolate alternative. Not only can you make shakes with it, so you would put 2 scoops of your Pure Nourish with a scoop of the Power Boost in your blender bottle and shake it up with water. But you can also make all kinds of treats with it. Like I mentioned, the chocolate icing, you can mix in some almond butter and have kind of like a Reese's Pieces alternative. So there's so many things you can be creative. Some people make chocolate pancakes. So tune into the RX Kitchen Facebook group and get some great recipes from that. Okay, a couple other powders that we have that I love. This, ladies and gentlemen, is called Beauty Boost. And just because it says beauty, guys, don't think that you can't consume it too, because you want to look good as well. And actually, I had someone say the other day, because we've had so many different Zooms with different people on who are older than they look. And so a lot of people are like, all those RX people, like they just look so healthy and they look so much younger. So here's one of the secrets, Beauty Boost, right? And Beauty Boost is mandarin orange flavor, delicious. Everybody loves mandarin orange flavor, right? So you would do 2 scoops of your plain with 1 scoop of the Beauty Boost. And you know what? You can do what my husband does. He mixes in the chocolate as well because he wants muscles and beauty, right? And what's in Beauty Boost? It's plant nutrients that are great for hair, skin, and nails. And so from an anti-aging perspective, there's a lot of products that are already doing that for you. And certainly Beauty Boost does as well. And finally, our last powder is our Giving Greens, one of my absolute favorite. I love this because, yes, it's a greens powder, but ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking, ooh, don't think that. Once you taste it, you're gonna love it. Why? Because we made it not taste like grass clippings. I mean, I can drink grass clippings, no problem. I'm kind of like the green juice girl, but I know a lot of people have difficulty. But the best part about this is, number one, the taste, because we put cinnamon bark, stevia, and coconut juice powder in there. And all three of those just make it have a really sweet, nice taste to it. But the cinnamon, I don't know if you're familiar with cinnamon as it relates to your blood sugar and even diabetics. Cinnamon is one of those things that helps to control that, as do greens. So again, for weight loss, this is a great product because you're controlling your blood sugar and your cravings, and also indirectly just because innately of the ingredients in here for diabetes as well. And again, we don't treat, diagnose, or cure, but you can definitely help yourself, right? And so what's in here? All of your cruciferous vegetables, your broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, all those things that you're probably not eating a whole lot of. Now, in the United States here, we're supposed to eat 7 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. I doubt the average person, or even the more above average person, even gets that. But you can get 4 of those servings just from 1 serving of this. So 1 serving is 2 scoops, and the scoops are actually not even that big. They're kind of small, but they're so super concentrated. So it makes you feel like, you're not getting a lot, but you're actually getting a lot because it's so super concentrated. And it's full of enzymes. So if you know anyone who doesn't have good digestion, has, stomach issues, or even doesn't go to the bathroom, right? Constipation. A lot of people have constipation. A lot of medications cause constipation. It's not something that's talked about a lot, but we need to start talking about it because it's a problem. If you're not eliminating, guess what? All of that gets reabsorbed back into your bloodstream, and you've got a toxic mess going on. So we have to eliminate every day, preferably after each meal, but certainly at least once a day. And so what we've discovered is the Giving Greens, because of the enzymes that help to digest the food and help you eliminate. A lot of people are pooping now, right? So, and you can also mix these in, just like my husband does. He mixes them all in together. So we've got the chocolate, we've got the orange, we've got the greens, we've got the Pure Nourish. So you have all of this great nutrition. It's just an easy way. Again, it could be a meal replacement. It can be a snack. A lot of people are doing intermittent fasting and utilizing, or OMAD, 1 meal a day. So don't change your habits unless you talk to your doctor, but there's different things that people are doing. And I just want you to know that this fits in with all of those programs, including the ketogenic diet as well, and our Slenderize program as well. So those are our powders, our clean powders. And again, we're not using maltodextrin, we're not using fructose. There's so many things that companies are putting in their health products that if you just learn a little bit about ingredients, you can look at any label. And even if you don't recognize everything, you just recognize a few things that we try to teach you all. You can say, you know what, I know that's not a good ingredient, so I'm going to put that one back. But here's the deal. Even if you hear all this and it's even still a little overwhelming, what you can be assured of, and I help formulate on the scientific advisory board, but I know Deanna Latson's standards, and that's the reason that I'm here. Unlike Chris, who wanted to come here for the money side, I came here for the product side. Now I realize we have both, and he realizes that too. We've got the golden ticket, but you will never have to worry about the products because we'll always make sure they are super clean, without the usual suspects that are found in a lot of the other products out there. And those are some of the differentiations that you can make with people as you're talking to them about products. Okay, I want to jump around to a foundational product. Now, I feel like Magna-Cal-D is a foundational product, bone and joint formula, right? And also I'll point out, aside from sleep, people are reporting back to us, again, we don't treat, diagnose, or cure, but because of ingredients found in this product, many people with migraine headaches are finding some relief. So just kind of keep that in mind. But regardless, it's still, to me, a foundational product that I feel like everyone should be taking on a daily basis. If you take a standalone calcium, that is a very dangerous thing. Calcium doesn't know where to go on its own. So if you take like a product that's just calcium without its friends, all nutrients need friends. So the idea of standalone nutrients is actually old school thinking. That's not how we operate today. For anyone who really understands about nutrition, think about it. Broccoli doesn't just have one nutrient in it, right? God made broccoli with all of these nutrients, and we're supposed to eat broccoli, right? But if you don't get enough, you can certainly get some in your Giving Greens. And actually our whole food vitamins and mineral, which I'll talk about in a minute, has broccoli in it too. But broccoli has more than one nutrient. It doesn't just have like a calcium in it. It has calcium, but it has its friends. So when we formulated Magna-Cal-D, we made sure calcium had its friends, magnesium at a 1-to-1 ratio, the vitamin D3, not the synthetic version, vitamin K2, which takes the calcium from the arteries and moves it into the bones where it belongs. If you take a standalone calcium, the calcium can actually settle in the arteries, which is not a good thing, and the joints. It's a very dangerous thing. So no more standalone nutrients. You need the complete formulas, and we definitely have that with our MagnaCal D. So that's a foundational product in my opinion, as are our whole food vitamin and mineral supplements called the Optimals. We have Optimal V for vitamins and Optimal M. It doesn't mean the vitamins are only in this one and the minerals are only in this one. What it means, I think I need to fix my autofocus here because it's going in and out of focus. But what it means is these are meant to be bought together. Okay, so don't think that they're separate. And if you look on the back of the label, you're going to see food listed. There's a super plant blend and a vegetable blend, and they're food-based multivitamin. Unlike your one a day, the ones that you take one time a day, which are the hard tablets that you just take one a day, because these are made from food. If we just put them into one capsule, because it's all this food that's dehydrated, right? If we put them into one capsule, the capsule would be so big you wouldn't be able to swallow it. So we had to divide them up. And what you end up taking with a whole food supplement always is more, you always take more than one a day. And so on the vitamin, you take 3 twice a day, and on the mineral one, you take 2 twice a day. So you're taking 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening. I know that's a lot, but just understand. Plus, trust me, your health will thank you, because the other ones are totally synthetic. They're not recognized by the body, and this is food-based. So just get used to it. Here's the other cool thing. All of our products are pills, so to speak, are capsules. And so you literally, if you don't want to take the pills, you can open them up and put them in your shakes. A lot of people do that. We also have, for all of our products, Dr. Strand has put together a children's recommendations on dosage, right? So you can take a look at that. We do have some children's things in the pipeline that will be coming, but in the meantime, you can definitely utilize almost all of the products with children. So you can ask whoever invited you on this Zoom, or check your ex-office for that document under the library. But your whole food vitamins and minerals, the Optimals, do you know why we called them Optimals? Anybody? I know you can't answer me, so I'll answer you. We call them Optimals because they're at the optimal level of nutrition. We put therapeutic doses. Everything that we put together is based on scientific studies, based on what the body needs from a therapeutic level, not as we have here in the States, the RDA, the recommended daily allowance, which is the minuscule amount that you need basically to survive. We want you to do way more than survive. We want you to thrive. So we have super doses in these. And so it tells you exactly, you take 5 basically in the morning and 5 in the evening, and they're at optimal levels of nutrition. And so to me, these are very, very foundational. This is going to give you your basics that you need. And then of course we have some other super nutrition like the MOA, one of our favorite around here. My husband and I literally, I hide them in my desk drawer. I hope he's not watching this because he does not do one a day. We get a box in, and then a couple days go by and I'm like, Erin, I didn't even get one yet. Slow down on this. But MOA is our liquid nutrition, stands for mother of all. It actually comes in a box like this with 30 of these packets. It's 36 superfoods, things that you're not getting, bergamot, turmeric, all of these superfoods that you wouldn't even be able to find at your local health food store at therapeutic doses. And here's the other thing. There's no synthetic preservative in here. And ladies and gentlemen, that's a big deal. All the other liquid nutrition, including your energy drinks, all of that, if you look on the label, you will see sodium benzoate or potassium sorbate, one or the other. Those are the usual suspects. I'm sure there's some other ones out there too. We didn't want to do that because we didn't want to, again, add a synthetic preservative and increase your toxic load. So we literally sent our R&D department to work, and they came up with a patent pending, award-winning already preservative that we call Natrix. Nobody in the world has it. And so this is truly a clean, natural, if you want to use that term, but I like the word clean, liquid nutrition. The preservative is made from essential oils, culinary herbs, and some fermented food ingredients. So again, it's all food-based and clean. You rip off the top, you drink it down. It has a peppery kick to it. So the first time you try it, you might just not recognize the taste, right? Because it's not going to taste like an orange juice or a Slurpee or anything. It has a peppery kick to it on purpose because pepper increases nutrient absorption. And when you have 36 superfoods, including those 6 medicinal mushrooms, you want this absorbed at its maximum potency. So that's why it has that peppery taste to it. I usually recommend just putting it in the refrigerator and drinking it super cold. If you try it for the first time and you love it, great. If you hate it, guess what? keep trying it, because after a day or two, you will come to love it like my husband does, and you'll start hiding it from family members. I know we have a young lady on our team whose son cries because he wants more than one of these a day, and she's got like 4 boys, so she has to dose it out, properly. But yes, children can utilize this. Rip off the top, stick a straw in it. You can even stick it in the freezer for a popsicle, right? Fun, healthy popsicle. So I can't say enough about this product. But again, these nutrients are totally different than what you find in your optimals. This is your foundation. This is your superfoods. Every one of our products is meant to work together. So don't feel like you can't take everything. You can. Now, a lot of people don't start off taking everything. I mean, I did. I went for the ultimate because I wanted to swap out everything I was using, because I had never found one company that I felt like was doing it right. I would buy a product from this company, a product from that company. But I can tell you, because I'm involved now, but even before me, this company was definitely doing it right. One other thing I want to point out, because I know we're going on 50 minutes here. A product that I was super impressed with, and they had this before I came on board, having, as Chris mentioned, taught at the Healing Center. When it comes to detoxifying the body of someone who's really unhealthy, there's a lot of different methods and things you can do. Step 1 is clean up your diet. When you clean up your diet, your body will automatically start to slough off and get rid of the toxins that you are constantly shoveling in, putting on, drinking, and it will start to eliminate those toxins naturally. So clean up your diet is step 1, and you can definitely do that with the Slenderized food list, the foods that are in here for sure. Number 2, sweat. So get out there and exercise. When you sweat, you allow your body to pour toxins from the cells, and there's different infrared saunas and different things that you can do for that. But also there's certain ingredients just naturally have the therapeutic value of helping to detoxify. Did you know if you put cilantro in your salads and your food, cilantro is an amazing detoxifier, heavy metal detoxifier, and lots of other things. So definitely consume cilantro. Greens are great at detoxifying as well. So get your minimum 2 servings or 1 serving minimum a day of your Giving Greens. And the drops also help to detoxify. But we have a specific product called Restorix. It helps to restore the body. That is kind of like a detox spa in a bottle, literally. I mean, I used to work at a detox spa, right? And so we used to use these ingredients. And I always had a jar of spirulina, a box of chlorella tablets, activated charcoal. All of these ingredients are in this product, in addition to micronized zeolite. Now it's a powder. You just do a scoop, put it in some water, and drink it down. It's not the sexiest thing, but you know what? I always tell people, especially those that I know drink alcohol, have you ever done a shot before? Well, and I know they have. Well, yeah. Well, just drink it down. Just get it down. Just like the MOA. In the beginning, if someone says they don't like it and they're a drinker, ask them if they've ever had a shot of tequila. And if they say yes, just say, well, then you did that because you wanted a desired effect. Now, I'm not a big fan of drinking, but there are people that are doing that. So you can use that to your advantage here with the MOA if you're trying to wean them into more of a healthier direction. So when it comes to the Restorix, you just put it in some water, you drink it down, and think of it as a magnetic scrubber that's going through your body and attaching to the opposite charge, which is the toxin, and it's pulling it from the body and eliminating it. So what you might discover as you do this is you're going to the bathroom a little bit more, and that is totally normal because, again, you're pulling those toxins from the body. I love this because it has so many different usages. So if someone who's never done a detox before, and this is basically a month supply, 28-day, 30-day supply. I recommend doing it once a quarter because we're constantly encountering toxins that are increasing your toxic load. And so if we can start to just eliminate those toxins, once a quarter, that's great. You don't want to necessarily do this every month of your life, but I like once a quarter. And then if someone who has never done a detox before, this is definitely something. If you've reached a weight loss plateau, it's a great product to pick up to help kind of bump you off the plateau. A lot of people use this in the beginning along with their weight loss journey to help kind of expedite it at a faster pace. You can also use this with athletes or that soreness that you probably felt on January 3rd or 4th after you worked out for a couple days, because this actually helps to pull the lactic acid from the muscles. So whether you're someone new to exercising and you're sore, or whether you're an athlete or even Olympic or a pro athlete, we have a lot of those that use our products because of the certifications that we have. One in particular in sport that validates that we don't have any ingredients that are going to red flag a drug or a urine test. So athletes like our product. You can also brush your teeth with this product. Yes, you can. Brush your teeth, makes them white because the activated charcoal makes your teeth white, and then you just swallow and just picture the little magnetic scrubber going through your body and eliminating toxins. And you can make a mud mask. So put a little bit of, in a little bowl or something, add just a little bit of water, put it on your face, and it pulls the impurities from the skin. So an amazing product called Restorex, our detox powder in a bottle. So Chris, I've been going long here. Hopefully they've been learning a few things, but I don't want to make this too long. Is there anything else you'd like me to cover before we wrap up?
I don't think you can go too long for these people. I'm getting text messages and excitement. I get the chat room. Everybody's excited. People are talking about different things. I don't know. Is there anything that we didn't cover? Did you mention the BioPro Q? Because that's one of
no, there's a lot I didn't cover. Okay, yeah. So
I just want you to mention BioPro Q because it's one of my favorites. I love it for whatever you call it, the brain food, I guess you call it. I mean, I don't know what y'all call it.
You know what? It's on the bottle, it says cellular energy and healthy heart. But so what this is, BioPro Q. It's one of the little bottles that we have. I don't know if you guys can see that. And what it is, it's our CoQ10 or coenzyme Q. Either one of those terms, it's the same thing. But CoQ10 is necessary for every muscle contraction that we have. And it's necessary for basically the cellular energy of the cell, the mitochondria, which is like the engine of the cell. So it's necessary, to run the engine of your cell, right, for energy. Unfortunately, as we age, we have less and less. So if you're someone that wakes up in the morning and you ache and it takes a little while for your Achilles to stretch out and kind of get moving and honestly, this is a good product, Chris, right? Because I told you about this for that, to help with the stiffness in the morning. But a lot of medications deplete CoQ10. A couple examples, statin drugs or cholesterol medications deplete CoQ10. Diabetes medications, depression medications, chemotherapy, all of those things deplete CoQ10. Now, don't stop taking any of those things without consulting your doctor, but guess what? You can become an educated consumer, an educated patient. And if you're on medications and you want to get off them, you certainly have to work with your doctor. But let's do what you can do on your own, at your house, in your home, with your food, with your supplements to help yourself. So every drug that you take depletes certain nutrients from the body because in order for that drug to metabolize, it draws nutrients. So the reason that CoQ10 is depleted in those ones that I mentioned is because they specifically deplete the statin drugs, the depression, the diabetes medication, the chemotherapy, and more, many more, but deplete CoQ10. And what you can end up with, and if you've ever seen the commercials on TV, especially for the statin drugs, let your doctor know if you experience muscle weakness, muscle pain, muscle fatigue. That's because they know those drugs deplete CoQ10 and you're going to get that side effect. So in order to prevent that, CoQ10 replenishment, in my opinion, is a must if you're on any of those medications. And here's the thing, you would take more than it says on the bottle. It's not one of those that you can, OD on, so to speak. It's nutrition, but you would take, maybe 4 or 5 of those if you're on some of those medications. There's different protocols. I know Dr. Strand also uses this with different patients that have eye issues as well. And there's so many other usages for it, but I just wanted to point that out. Because it's necessary for muscle contraction, it's definitely a product that everyone could take on a daily basis as directed on the bottle, but our athletes like it for peak performance, right? Because they want their muscles to perform at their peak. So it's a very, again, just like all of our products, very versatile for everyone that you're encountering, everyone that you're, potentially sharing this information with. There really isn't a product that someone couldn't use, again, except for the drops, unless they're pregnant or breastfeeding. Oh, and I did want to point out on the Restorex, where's that? On the Restorex, because this is pulling toxins from the body, if you are taking any medications, and it says this on the label, you want to keep your medications 2 hours apart from taking this, because one of the ingredients in here, the activated charcoal, is actually the ingredient that's used in emergency rooms when people come in and overdose. Activated charcoal helps to pull that out at a faster pace. So you want to separate any medications that you're taking by 2 hours minimum when you're taking this. Now, you can still take this if you take medications, just abide by that rule and you'll be fine. And this will do its work in pulling out the other toxins from your body, right? Okay, so yes, the CoQ10, and I'll point out on the BioPro Q that I was talking about just a few minutes ago, the CoQ10, we're using the proper form. We're using the ubiquinol form, not the ubiquinone form. There's a difference there in terms of quality and in terms of efficacy. And so again, you can always rely on us to use the proper forms. And I'll let you know, every 2 to 3 years, we look at all of our products and say, what can we upgrade? What have we learned? What new is out there that we can add to, replace, what new science is out there, what new nutrition information. And so we're always on the cutting edge of that. And you'll see starting hopefully after this quarantine ends, you'll start seeing some of these swaps and these changes happening. Certainly every year you'll see upgrades with different products that we have. So we're not a company that produces a product and it stays around for 20 years unless there isn't new technology or new nutrition about that. But we really try to stay on the cutting edge with all of those things. So I hope you learned a lot today. I could go on and on and on, but I wanted to try to give you some information about some products and some maybe different twists on them that maybe we haven't talked about before. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully it'll help you in your sharing. And thanks, Chris.
I got to make you do one more. Sorry.
Okay.
One last one, because when I started, as I told everybody, as we began the telecast, that I was only interested in the money, which was green. So that was the color of it. But I am interested in one product that got me started because I saw such amazing results from it. And I'm not going to talk about mine because I don't want to make any claims, but we haven't mentioned the Venali.
Okay.
And I've had about 4 texts. And would you let her go over Venali? Because here's the thing about our product line. Ginger, we could talk 4 hours and Ginger could talk about it for that long because there's just that much information. She's gone very quickly. But the Venali is probably one of my favorite products because it got me convinced that nutrition was really real. I had taken all kinds of things for years with never a result, and all at once, one little start of one product has got me convinced to start taking many others. So would you kind of talk about the Venali just briefly, and we'll end with it.
Absolutely. So Venali, it's another one of those little bottles there, Vinali, Venali. This is our potent antioxidant. So when you hear antioxidant, just know antioxidants have superpowers in that they are just innately, just by their own value, very anti-inflammatory, okay? So these antioxidants, and it's a very simple recipe. It's grapeseed extracts and vitamin C, bioflavonoids. It's not anything extravagant, but it's almost like the Wonder Triplets. When they come together, their powers are much more than individually on their own. But grapeseed extract in particular, now we could get our grapeseed extract from here in the States, but we don't. We get ours from Italy, because Deanna found this family in Italy that grows these grapes. And so their extract, they're just superior to anything on the market in terms of efficacy, but also in terms of what they test for. This family tests for over 240 toxins, pesticides, heavy metals, all those kinds of things, where kind of the standard is like less than 50. So we love, again, clean grapeseed extract, and we want the best of the best. And because of where we're getting it from, you can use less and get more out of it, if that makes sense. So I know Dr. Stram was using a different grapeseed extract years ago, and he wasn't getting the efficacy that he gets with this. So Venali is our antioxidant, and you can, as you know about antioxidants and you understand how anti-inflammatory those are, you can start applying that. So interestingly, these ingredients are really great for the skin. So in China, they call it the beauty pill. So it is definitely a product you can take on a daily basis as directed on the bottle, but you can also help yourself in other areas. So if you sprain an ankle, if you hurt your shoulder working out, or you have some sort of injury where there's acute inflammation, I always tell people you can take 10, 12, 14, you don't have to worry about, quote, overdosing. This is unlike traditional anti-inflammatories that are toxic to the liver. You don't have that issue here. This is food. So you can literally, if you have an acute injury, you can superdose this product and help deal with that acute inflammation at once, right? Anyone that I work with that has allergies or asthma, I get them on our foundational products for sure, and even our MOA, just because these ingredients are so innately anti-inflammatory. But I also always recommend the Venali. Now, many people might be on allergy and asthma medications and they need to work with their doctor. But what we've been able to do is get people to the point where they're not super allergic anymore, right? And so they've been able to work with their doctor and wean off of those without being harmful to the liver. And in addition, so many people take anti-inflammatories, whether it's one you buy at the drugstore yourself or a prescription, which are not meant to be taken long-term, but a lot of people abuse them. And literally, I know of a woman who years ago didn't tell anyone, but every night she was taking a Tylenol PM every single night for 2 months. And she ended up dying from liver failure. She woke up one morning, her husband had to rush her to the hospital and they couldn't save her. Liver failure. Those are not meant to be taken long-term, certainly not even for 2 months. Those anti-inflammatories, it says, when you look at it on the bottle, it says the limited time. That's why I love this product so much, because it's not toxic to the liver, but it has these plant nutrients that are great antioxidants, thus anti-inflammatories, that can help mitigate some of that inflammation going on in the lungs, whether it's allergies or asthma, a sports injury, or you hurt yourself in any way, shape, or form, or if you just have general inflammation, because all of today's modern diseases are inflammatory in nature, whether it's diabetes, heart disease, cancer, arthritis, all of them have inflammatory components. So it's definitely a product that can be utilized to help support the body, right? Because of the innate ingredients and the therapeutic value that those ingredients in turn have. So yes, a very popular product, a very safe product. If you know anyone who's had surgery, they're trying to help heal their skin. It's also part of the protocol along with some of the foundational products. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Nutrition, think about it. If you have a cell, it's not going to be vibrant and healthy without good nutrition. Your skin and your body is going to reflect what you're putting into it, right? And even on it. And so if we get back to clean nutrition, super nutrition without the toxins, it's going to reflect in every area of your body, and your body will start to get back in balance. Again, we don't claim to treat, diagnose, or cure. But that being said, there are a lot of people that we've been able to touch and help and literally save their lives by getting them on a program that makes sense, because it's just clean nutrition without the toxins. So if you can share some of those basic concepts with people, it makes sense. And we truly care, starting with Deanna Latson at the top and all the other owners. But from the product standpoint, we've got that integrity when it comes to ingredients, if you haven't figured that out by now. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much, Ginger. I know this. I love all the products. And for someone who was not a product person, as you well know, because you already knew me that I was not a product person.
Look at you now, though, Chris.
I do take my share of products, even drink some green juice on a daily basis. So, guys, thank you so much for being here.